What you fancy on a Friday night? A pint down a local with your mates? Maybe a spot of dinner in front of the telly? Another pint? And some romance?
Hello, Ram.
Oh. Or a bit of footy?
Gigsy Wigsy. Oh, Ryan-y Gigsy Wigsy, isn't it? You know, marvellous.
It's marvellous, all right. The Friday Night Comedy Zone on BBC Two.
A new drama series begins on BBC One shortly. Patricia Routledge stars as housewife turned super sleuth Hetty Wainthropp. Here on BBC Two, in half an hour, John Diamond casts a discerning eye over this week's press in a new series of What the Papers Say. And making the headlines now on BBC Two, Public Relations Supremo Liz Brewer in Modern Times. The programme includes an update on her fortune since the original broadcast.
Sion House, Middlesex Palace of the Duke of Northumberland. Tonight, Ivana Trump, the ex-wife of an American billionaire, is giving what she calls a private party for 120 close friends. On the guest list are Shirley Bassey, Richard Branson, Britt Eklund, and Saudi arms dealer and socialite Adnan Khashoggi. But this is no casual get-together of celebrities. The guest list wasn't drawn up by Ivana, and the paparazzi didn't have to gate crash to get in. Tonight's promotion was the work of a professional fixer, a woman whom Ivana pays to look after her when she visits London.
People have the impression, and that's deliberate, there I am, slightly dizzy, social butterfly. They never ever see behind the scenes. There's always somebody pulling the strings or switching the buttons. Nothing happens by accident. Someone somewhere behind the scenes is making things happen.
In the heart of Mayfair, the launch of another glamorous dining spot. Liz Brewer has supplied the guests a mix of her friends and clients, although an outsider would find it hard to tell the difference.
We are in Thomas Groves, this fabulous, fabulous restaurant, which is all aquamarine, gold, and this lovely, lovely pink. And we have lovely waiters. It's civilization again. Wonderful crystal. Caviar until it's coming out of your ears. Look at it. It's just stunning. Oh, I painted the ceiling. I'm the Michelangelo of 1994. Apparently, I always do it on my back.
Yeah, another dinner, another restaurant, more caviar, more champagne. That's our lives. Shallow, frivolous.
Every single day, there are numerous phone calls of people ringing up and saying, oh, we've been put in touch with you by so-and-so and so-and-so, and could you help me here, or could you do this, or could you do that, with the most extraordinary range of requests.
If you come to London and you don't know anyone, let's face it, people go to professional hairdressers, they go to tailors, they go to, couturiers, etc. So you approach someone like Lizzie, and Lizzie, in fact, can launch them. And, I mean, she does know the world. That Filofax, I mean, if someone mugged her and took the Filofax, they'd have the best entree into everything.
If you're not through merit a star and not born a social star, well, and you have the money, then you hire someone like Liz to do it for you. You can't just run into people. doesn't work like that. You have to get a toehold somewhere.
Mona, sweetheart, you're in the middle. Dan, you're over
That toehold allows Liz's clients to climb into a small corner of London's social scene known as cafe society.
Cafe society is a wonderful phrase. It actually completely describes what it is, but it's a great fun part of society. It consists very much of people who are probably not aristocrats, although there are some aristocrats in that group because it's such fun. There are people who are trying to have an expensive lifestyle. They're usually quite rich people. It's the first step for somebody coming to this country. Cafe society will be their first step because they'll be accepted without any hesitation for what they are.
You have cooks, you have staff. Where's my breakfast? I want eggs, I want mushrooms, and I want it served in bed.
Mona Bounds is the daughter of a very rich Palestinian businessman high up in the PLO. Liz has been looking after Mona for 12 years. In 1992, Mona's controversial friendship with Government Minister David Mellor made her a front-page celebrity. After Mellor's resignation, she drifted out of the limelight.
That's your problem.
No, this week you're not in the public eye. How does that feel?
Horrible. Yeah, I like seeing myself plastered on every front page. If it's nice stuff, yeah. Give me 2 years and I will be legitimately on the front page.
When I first met her, the idea was that I was going to help her and look after her with the promotion of a play that she was putting on in the West End, which had Christopher Reeve and Vanessa Redgrave in. And she wanted me to organise the party and to get the publicity. And when you come to live in this country, it's pretty cold and there are a lot of closed doors, which sometimes take years to open. It's just because we're rather stuffy. And, you know, there are shortcuts.
Our relationship is more than just a client. We're friends. And the fact that she's a friend, you get more confidence than if you want a sort of rather bland, big PR company where you're just a name on it. So you get a very personalised treatment.
David Mellor resigned from the government tonight. He said it was too much to expect his colleagues to put up with the constant barrage of stories about him.
The story which toppled the man they called the Minister of Fun was that Mona Bounds had paid for him to join her on a luxury holiday in Marbella. As the story developed, so Mona's fame increased. Liz Brewer stood loyally by her client throughout the ordeal.
The Mellor affair did catapult her into a totally different sphere. It was about 2 weeks when every single day she was headline news.
I invited the Mellors on holiday when I was going through a particularly difficult time in my life.
Obviously, it gave her a platform so that she could then decide if she wanted to go in another direction, she could use it.
Spending £10,000 on an outing for the Mellors had given Mona a brief taste of fame. She liked it. She wanted more.
She's got a lot of work to do now because I've got to do the work to substantiate that there is more to my life than just being sort of pretty decoration or ugly decoration, depending on your view, I suppose.
Mona really wants to be a contributing editor to either a newspaper or a magazine in this country.
Oh, I write for a lot of other very specialist papers, like the Zionist magazine, like the Jewish Chronicle, like Jade, but I want to go now more mainstream.
Well, so far we've met with quite a few editors and they've shown interest, and one in particular which would be definitely the right newspaper for her to work with. They're making a decision in November.
Miraculously, on the very morning the Evening Standard is to decide if Mona is a big enough household name to merit the job, she is back on the front pages of the tabloids. Liz, quoted by journalists as the unnamed source, has confirmed that 2 years ago the besotted David Mellor implored Mona to marry him.
Hello. Are you sitting down?
Yeah.
They've reprinted that photograph of you on the rocking horse.
God.
Do you want me to read? Mona herself refused to deny reports that at one stage Mellor begged her to marry him.
Mellor was said to have pestered her up to 5 times a day on the phone. He's lucky they didn't say 5 times an hour, okay, on the phone while he was Heritage Secretary. Unnamed sources insisted he was making marriage proposals. Mona referred questions to her close friend Liz Brewer. Liz confirmed that Mellor had a romantic interest in Mona, but the feelings were not returned. She said the relationship was totally platonic, even if he didn't want it that way. That is more or less what I said. It is correct. It is true. Who's that?
David Mellor comes through on Mona's other line. He's furious.
I didn't give any story to any paper. Well, I'm sorry, but I didn't. And I just wish for once you would know who your friends are. I have throughout... No, let...
Mona, don't speak to him.
But you have to understand that, you know, that this is not part of it. You do understand that. Right? But you go out and you make a statement, because I am not having anybody said that I've had an affair with you.
Oh, God.
Yeah, okay. Okay, right. Hello. He says that people are saying that I stuck the knife.
No, they don't.
I really do honestly think I should say.
No, you don't say anything. You do nothing. You say nothing. It is no comment.
As Liz sets off to meet Mona, a press contact informs her that Mellor is challenging her story.
I cannot believe the guy can be so goddamn stupid. He came out of his house and he said, Mona said it's untrue. Oh. Okay, Neil, tell me something. How can I get, without me doing it, the news channels to Moslemans today? Because that's where she's going to be having lunch.
Liz has summoned the press to a fashionable private club in Belgravia.
Tell us what the lunch is all about, please.
It's a lunch for 10 women who actually achievers, doing something.
And where does Mona Barnes fit into to that? What's her achievement?
Achievement, well, she's now writing. And in fact, she's coming from a meeting right now where hopefully she'll have secured quite a useful contract to write. And also she's going into broadcasting.
The press need more dirt on Mellor. Mona's career plans aren't quite what they had in mind.
Well, you said there's never been a romance.
As far as Mona's concerned, they've always been just friends.
Right.
And that goes for the whole family.
The lunch at Mosselman's won't cost Liz a penny. The owner, Anton Mosselman, is one of her clients. A little publicity never goes amiss.
Of course, being a private club, we are very secret about things. We don't tell the press who is here. Therefore, we have to be very careful what's happening. Today was an exception. We didn't inform the press. They somehow were informed by somebody else.
Say what the fuck he wants. I'm not adding any more to this.
Here was a chance for the press to have access to her. And yes, naturally, I'm going to be responsible for making certain they are there.
Both suffered. Have I suffered?
Yes.
I've suffered. I would be a big liar if I said that I don't like media attention, but I want it on what I have achieved rather than on who my associations are or were.
But was there ever a proposal? That's what people are saying. Was there ever a proposal?
2 reporters have found a way in. They want to know why Mellor proposed if he wasn't having an affair. Liz takes the opportunity to identify Mona's fellow achievers.
Lady Nancy Chopard, C-H-O-P-A-R-D.
If 100 years ago you had Lizzie Brewer sitting around a table like this, a salon of ladies, there'd be at least 3 mistresses of a duke, an earl, and a possible heir to the throne sitting around the table. Lizzie would encourage whoever they were to have a salon of art or of music or whatever. She would be enormously discreet if they wanted her to be discreet, and wonderfully indiscreet if they didn't. She's a true politician of the social scene. Nobody does it better.
Why do you think people are interested in this story?
Not because of Mona, but because of David Mellor.
Have you got what you wanted?
No.
Are you going to stick around till you do?
We won't push it too far. It's not worth it. This is a nice lunch in a nice place.
What next? Well, what next is I'm very happy to say that now I have been accepted as a contributing editor to the Evening Standard. So obviously I'm very pleased. I mean, that's more that's where I want to move. And clearly if I was somebody who was publicity shy, I wouldn't be going into the media world.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Why you as a gentleman be? Why did you turn down Mr. Mellor's proposal of marriage?
It was very good because she had in fact had a meeting at the Evening Standard. They were considering contracting her to be a contributing editor. Well, I mean, it was wonderful. It's clinched that deal naturally because they realized here was still a person capable of attracting high profile.
Why did you turn him down then?
Liz works alone from the basement kitchen of her house in Belgravia. Her clients have included the Ritz Hotel, Richard Branson, Peter Cadbury, a range of British entrepreneurs, and Soraya Khashoggi, Leicester-born ex-wife of international arms dealer Adnan Khashoggi. Liz comes from a good English family. Her father was an underwriter at Lloyd's. In her 20s, she fled to Portugal, where she ran a fashionable discotheque in the Algarve. Her clientele were the 60s jet set, many of whom became her friends. Cliff Richard taught her to dance. After the Portuguese Revolution, Liz returned to London's flourishing nightlife. One of her colleagues at the time was Di Llewellyn, the famous nightclub greeter and brother of Princess Margaret's close friend Roddy. Liz's association with him didn't last.
She sued me for calling her a hustler and calling her unprofessional at her job or something like it. I would like to take that down back absolutely right away. Now, I may and say she is very professional.
Cafe society fulfills a need in the national life of the country, which is a very simple, basic one. True society isn't going to jump through the hoops that cafe society jumps through. It therefore provides the masses with entertainment, dreams, You too can have this life if you want it. And if you can't have it, you can see into it. It's a money-making, money-spinning entertainment industry.
It's an industry in which each party must be carefully cast to deliver precisely the right clientele.
Good to see you. My dear, a poem in yellow.
Gallery owner Roy Miles has asked Liz to help launch the first London show by artist Yuri Gorbachev, who claims he's a cousin of the famous Russian leader.
Now come meet Yuri. Yuri, can I borrow you? Liz Brewer, Yuri Gorbachev.
Nice to meet you. So beautiful.
Remember, there are lots of art galleries, and there are lots of worthwhile artists, so you have to present something that the press are going to pick up on. And with Roy, he is such a showman, and they expect a bit of glamour. And I thought nobody would have done that better than Brit.
Was Brit paid to go there?
No, absolutely not. No, she wasn't.
Why did she go?
Because I asked her to.
Next month.
Why are you here?
Why I am here? Because I was invited by Mr. Roy Miles to be here, and because this is exactly the kind of art that I enjoy and collect, and that's why I'm here.
I've got my eye on Roy, and he needs guiding. Right, this person is going to buy a picture. That person is going to probably write about you.
That's great.
This person is going to bring in someone.
Very
That is somebody I've particularly invited because I know they're going to buy 6 paintings.
pleasure of meeting you. It's short time.
You've already, perhaps in your mind, decided who you're going to have him photographed with.
I'm happy because people like color, like composition. They bought my art. It's a big compliment.
We just sold 2 more, they've told me, so there we are, yes.
Do you want to come with me in my car?
Yeah.
The reading room at Claridge's Hotel. London's international rich gather to contemplate gems worth several millions.
Zabadini, he's a well-known jeweller, and he had not shown in this country. He had decided he wanted to make a splash. Now with him, publicity wasn't the key thing. Because I said, do you want me to go to Overdrive and present you? No, he said, what I want are the clients. He wanted, you know, the big spenders, people who spend unreal amounts of money on jewellery.
How do you know so many very rich?
I don't know how, well, I do know how I know, because I like people, and it's not that I collect people, but I get to know a lot of people. And if I meet people that I like, then I make certain that somehow or other I get to meet them again.
At the end of the day, there is a bill to settle for Sabadini's party.
You were supposed to send me a cheque of 3,600 plus 263 pounds plus 3,250. It's about 7,000.
I think we have sent a check of 200 and...
Right, well that's very sweet of you. That means I can buy the stamps, but you're supposed to be sending 50% of my fee.
I see. 3,600 is for the champagne.
Yes.
And 3,250 is for your service fee.
That's right.
I do get what you call perks, and there are lots of perks. I do get invited to fly here, there and everywhere, and as a guest. I do get invited to stay in hotels as a guest. I do get entertained in restaurants.
Do people give you a lot of dresses?
Yeah, a lot of people, the designers, obviously, because a lot of them are my clients. Not that everybody's going to come up to me and say, that's a great dress, where can I get it from? Maybe this word of mouth, PR, is quite important. Well, it's quite a sexy dress, and because it's very difficult to maneuver yourself. I mean, I can't do anything normally. I can't just sit on a chair. I've usually got to sit on somebody's lap. If I'm going to be moved around, somebody's usually moving me. And, but it's great to dance in, because I'm being held. I have been very mischievous in this dress.
After getting engaged 6 times to different men, Liz married John Rendell, an Australian landscape gardener, in 1978. 10 years later, they parted company.
This was my wedding dress. This was my wedding dress, which was white. On the day I got divorced, I put it in a bath with all this red dye. And because I thought I hadn't got a red dress, I wanted a red dress, so I dyed it red. And I remember wearing it shortly afterwards. I bumped into my ex-husband, John, who got a bit of a shock seeing it had gone red.
Nowadays, John Rendell tries to avoid bumping into his ex-wife. He's the social editor of Hello magazine and has developed a keen interest in polo. Although his job requires him to attend a certain number of promotional parties, Rendell now feels that he has risen above cafe society and is moving somewhat closer to the heart of the English establishment. Liz and John have a daughter, Tallulah.
Tallulah would probably prefer not to be at boarding school and to be at home. But it means that if you're with her 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, she's going to get the time where I'm going to be shouting, yelling, screaming because she's getting under my feet and I can't get on with my work. But, you know, we talk on the telephone, and I'm very good with my letter writing. I'm the best mother.
Is there a man in your life?
Mm-mm. No. There are lots of good friends. But what do you actually mean by, is there a man in my life? Do you mean, is there a man who is sharing my life? No, there isn't.
Are you never lonely?
Sometimes in the middle of the night I wake up and I think, I don't think this is right. I don't think I should be sort of lying here all by myself. We thought we'd put the cake on that, you see, because we've got this fabulous cake.
Liz's most famous client has flown into London for a few days. Ivana wants a party for 300 friends at the Mayfair Hotel.
Put the cake in here so they already can see when they come in there.
That's
You know what we'll
perfect.
do?
That's
What we
fantastic.
might even do, we might take it when the people are going to go for the dessert. We might take the cake from here and move it up there in the center.
I mean, it's lovely to think that you can be served.
Nobody will be served. No, everybody will go and get their own
Right.
food because it's very delicate.
Sweetheart, I am not putting you here, up there.
Before dinner, the guests will enjoy a special preview of the TV miniseries based on Ivana's autobiographical novel, For Love Alone. On leaving the party, they will be handed complimentary copies of Ivana's next novel, Free to Love.
That is her book. Those may not be all her words, but they're her words as she has spoken them. But as everybody knows, she speaks a sort of broken English, so it has to be translated. But it is her story and they're her words. It hasn't been ghost-written.
Ivana was born in a small industrial town in Czechoslovakia, the daughter of an electrician and a telephone operator. In her 20s, Ivana emigrated to the West, where she married gambling and property tycoon Donald Trump after meeting him in a restaurant. Donald and Ivana shared a love of publicity. When Donald deserted her, Ivana took the $10 million divorce package and rebuilt herself in a completely new image.
I think she's a creature from Mars, perhaps. I mean, this is a very odd reincarnation. And a lot of the bitchy American magazines had a lot of stories about the bottom lift and the bosom lift and the lip suction, and then also the change of her top lip and this and that. And there's an old joke that if you touch her belly button, her years whirl round.
Have the company which is called House of Ivana, which has line of clothing, a line of jewelry, a line of cosmetics, a line of accessories, and I sell my products over the television. And it's very hard to explain because it's a revolutionary thing, but I go on television once a month for weekend for 16 hours live, and I sell my products over it, and it's an incredible success.
You know, the ladies, they write me and they say, Ivana, you know, what we like on the suit is that you do suit, which actually we're getting 2 in 1. See how easy it is now, within a second. Right. And it goes immediately from the traveling suit or from the business suit into the evening, into the tuxedo. And it is going to look just great.
She's now got this channel where she flogs her jewelry and her scent and her clothes, and she turns over 90,000 pounds a minute or whatever. It's all these Americans who aspire to have some sort of celebrity themselves. So therefore, if they wear an Ivana brooch, it gives them some feeling that they are part of it. They want to be part of the Ivana fantasy. And Ivana is a fantasy. She's not a real person. She's made herself into this fantasy. Her books are part of it. She's selling herself.
I started with giving the party for 20 friends. And I said, well, if I do it for 20, I might as well do it for 50. And then suddenly it grew for 300 people. And the decor, it's really cover of my book, which is a pink, you know, for femininity, the black for the drama, and the gold for the richness, if you may.
What I find so extraordinary is if you meet Ivana, she's so unbelievably pretty. She really is. And yet, the British press originally, they seemed to take about 200 photographs and choose the worst one.
There wasn't anybody saying, this is England, it's low-key, don't wear that today, or just stay in. So she needed somebody, really, to actually show the journalistic world that he was a human being who actually had achieved something to be admired, not to be attacked.
Besides persuading the British press to recognize Ivana's achievements, Liz has supplied her client with a new circle of friends. In their midst, she has found love. The new man in Ivana's life is Riccardo Mazzucchelli, an Italian structural engineer and another client of Liz's.
In June, Ivana bought this little bijou residence in Cadogan Square. So I introduced her to Robin Anson, who I describe as the world's greatest living interior designer. And he's doing this up. And we call it Le Petit Versailles.
Put those little bits in.
What is so sensational is when Ivana's having her hair done by Clifford, she sits there and looks at herself and she's a total peach symphony. And what else can I show you? Ah, have you seen what I've done in here?
Oh, brilliant.
So she can watch herself on GMTV.
Did you have this in? Did you do that?
No, I did all that.
You are so clever.
That is the sofa fabric. But Lizzie, the snuggery is what you haven't seen. This was a cupboard.
Yes, sweetheart, this is sensation.
And I turned it into the snuggery for the two boys.
This is absolutely
great
wonderful.
fun, isn't it?
I think it's wonderful. I think you're brilliant. Absolutely wonderful. You'll have to put a little television up here or something.
Yes, Lizzie.
You could do it.
And in here, Lizzie, look at this.
Yes, sweetheart.
Washer, dryer,
The laundry,
everything.
how fabulous. Amazing. I mean, you really have packed everything in.
And it's so cosy and elegant.
It's brilliant.
Late one night, Liz receives a phone call from New York. It's Ivana, and it's big news. She and Ricardo are finally getting engaged.
I love it. Oh, God, this is so exciting. Oh, I'll have to think what I'm going to wear. Okay, now which date in particular? That is the 18th. Okay, that's the 18th of October. And then we'll have the cake, which is a huge, great engagement ring. It'll be wonderful. I mean, not, you know what people are like. We're not all going to expect a slice of cake, but I mean a token. But we can do that. It would be fantastic. It would be wonderful publicity.
Hello?
Hi, Nigel.
Hi there, kid.
I'm having a top-to-toe.
Liz has chosen to announce Ivana's engagement in Nigel Dempster's gossip column. Nigel's an old friend.
With the Ivana.
If she wants to add to, she can. If not, we go as said for Sunday morning.
Exactly.
2 million copies of the best newspaper.
Oh, wow. And hopefully the invitations will arrive on yes.
Okay, darling.
Okay, sweetheart.
Talk to you soon.
Bye.
There'll be room for only the very closest of Ivana's friends at the engagement dinner. The table will seat just 120.
Shit, 294. Oh, my God. 294.
Do people get very upset when they're not invited?
Yes, they get terribly upset. They get so upset that nearer the time it becomes more and more embarrassing because I get phone calls and I get people ringing up saying, oh, have I done something wrong? Don't you like me anymore? And quite frankly, this is a very personal party. And when you've got a very personal party, then you want really friends that mean something to you and not just rent a crowd and rent a celeb. You actually want friends, and it's an engagement party. So you just don't invite names for the sake of it.
Do you mean Ivana has 294 friends in London?
There are, yes. Well, yeah. Probably more.
Let me read out what I've written.
Okay.
A final call from Nigel Dempster to check the facts for his column.
In their relationship, Ivana Trump and Ricardo Mazzucchelli have finally become engaged. The happy couple have asked their friend Liz Brewer to organise the celebrations early next month, which will be at Zion House, the stately Thameside mansion of the Duke of Northumberland, set in 200 acres opposite Kew Gardens. Apart from the rings, Ricardo gave Ivana a 1934 3.5-litre Bentley drophead, which he bought for $53,000 this summer, along with a 32...
Hang on, he didn't give her that. He gave her the Phantom 5.
Ah.
He kept the drop head for himself.
Okay, along with a maroon 17 Phantom 5.
I need a man. I need about 10 men.
I am getting 10 very attractive men to come after dinner. They're friends, and I've told them they've got to dance with any woman that they see is not dancing, they dance with her.
Great, but you want to... Look, if you want to...
Don't worry, I've got some sensational men.
I know.
But listen, no way. I get a call today from Hello saying they've got the exclusivity of the party.
For photographers.
But Hello will bring it out anyway, Ivana. Hello always bring... They do your parties every time. They will bring it out.
Who is the other one?
Vogue, Tatler, Harpers and Queens.
Okay. Christine. Vogue. Okay, Vogue.
Tatler.
And?
Harpers and Queen.
Birth and Queens.
Now, Hello.
Honey, stop talking.
Ah!
All right, just shut up.
I'm just trying to get a word in.
Vogue and Tatler and Harpers and Queens are no threats to Hello. They couldn't give a because it's a monthly publication.
Precisely.
And Hello, it's weekly, so just if you let me speak, you know, we get across.
Now, Shirley, she's flying in same day as you, Friday. And you know she's invited us to the opening night on Monday.
Shirley.
Bassie.
Oh, Bassie.
Okay? She's got her opening night on Monday.
Okay, so what, honey?
Okay, so she's invited us. But Beau rang and said if you don't feel too jet-lagged, how about getting together for dinner on Friday evening?
That would be nice, yeah.
Okay.
Can she sing the little song?
Oh, don't worry, I'm going to get her to sing a song. Absolutely. Are you kidding?
Mr. Hook from New York, Mr. Hook from New York meeting his driver. Please go to the meeting point.
Hi, sweetheart. Hi, sweetheart. Dad, after the that's a little note. Champagne in the car and coffee because it's going to be terrible dry.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Sometimes it's a huge effort to be glamorous. You know, there's so many things that can go wrong. When you've got private planes, you know, they're not just at Heathrow, they're quite often at Luton, and it's a long way to get to Luton, and it's always, you're driving in traffic. It appears glamorous, but it's actually very normal. It's very ordinary at the same time. You talk about exactly the same things. You have exactly the same worries.
What are the worries?
Well, the same worries that everybody has. You know, am I going to arrive and my dress is crinkled, or is there going to be a car to meet me, or am I going to be delayed, or whatever the problem. I mean, they're all universal.
This is 95.8 Capital FM, London.
Mega rich Ivana Trump has been raising a few eyebrows. She's been showing off her $1 million sapphire and diamond engagement ring from fiancé Riccardo Mazzucchelli. Unfortunately, the paparazzi were more interested in the laddered tights she was wearing.
It's so unethical because this guy had an exclusive for this photograph to be released showing her celebrating her engagement, not to sell a tacky photograph with a rather stupid story.
When did she see it?
She hasn't seen it. I'm not going to upset her and tell her. I mean, I just said my reaction is, you know, laugh about it. So what? If they're so interested in looking at your legs, I mean, it's great.
Ivana, meticulous as she is, she will never be caught with stockings which are not more than 5 minutes old. So there you go. They must have played a trick, and it's cheap for cheap, you know.
Is it upsetting?
It's a cheap paper for cheap people.
Come on. Be good.
Put your arm around.
The Mail and the Express have been chosen for the happy couple's first photo opportunity in London. The venue is Shirley Bassey's dressing room at the Festival Hall. Shirley is a great friend of Lizzie's, and a picture of two celebrities is always more marketable than a picture of one.
You have to have a song written only for you, for your voice. It's so incredible. I had a goosebump all over my body.
Yes.
It was incredible.
Because of the nature of the visual side of what I do, and the visual side of what I do is the parties, the promotion, the press, the private planes, you know, the opening nights. It's quite important for me to make certain that everybody that I work with gets on, because often they're mixed together.
Yes. Let me see the ring, the ring, the ring, the ring. Oh, you eat your heart out. Can I have one like that, please? I don't think so. Well, I'll settle for the other one. I'll settle for that one. That's a great honor.
On the eve of Ivana's big night, the Mail on Sunday writes that Ivana, not Riccardo, is paying the £60,000 bill for the party.
It was a misunderstanding. Riccardo is the host of the party with Ivana, but he is paying for it. And they they wrote that Ivana was paying for everything, which is, of course, insulting.
Ladies and gentlemen of the press and media, will you welcome, please, Mr. Riccardo Mazzucchelli and Miss Ivana Trump.
A lot of nonsense has been said about Ivana, and she's an adorable person. Only by knowing him personally, you can actually appreciate it. We are at your disposal, but you must excuse us if we only have 120 seats, so we are limited in the number of people that we can accommodate. However, I find you all very attractive. I wish I knew you a little bit better. I know that some of you abuse us very much, but we love you just the same.
Do go in, and the cake is there as well. Please come inside.
We are here for 3 days, and we are giving this party for our friends. It's a private party for our friends, but we really couldn't leave all our press friends behind.
When the actual wedding comes along, aren't you going to say to the British royal family?
No, I don't think you can draw a paragon at all. I think this is very humble by comparison. On the other hand, the world is made out of a ladder. Some are above, some are below. But we all struggle for the same, which is to be happy and to help the world to be a better place.
Can I ask you again, do you have a prenuptial agreement between the pair of you?
Yes, we do.
It's not exactly the most romantic way to begin a life together,
It's a very romantic way. It's the only way.
The Duke of Northumberland obviously enjoys events like this, but he needs money to keep the place going. What is the future of houses like this? Who's going to sit around those long dinner tables? Who's going to afford to stay there? It seems sad in a way that people who don't belong to the place inhabit the place and are part of that means of rescuing them from insolvency.
English people are very suspicious of glamour. They're suspicious of new money. So when somebody comes onto the scene and is very glamorous and stylish, they'll knock it.
Ivana is one of the empresses of cafe society. People in cafe society exist as long as they are visible. When they cease being visible, they usually don't exist. If you're not visible, people very quickly forget about you. The purpose of cafe society is not the purpose of true social life, which is friendship, which is shared experience. The purpose of cafe society is theatre, it's recognition, it's a very narcissistic world. It's that other people see you, hopefully, through the eyes that you wish them to. That's what it's all about.
You have to have a dream, and you have to make a dream happen. I don't believe we're in this world we're just here to be born, struggle, and die. We're here for a purpose. Now, maybe my purpose is helping people to achieve what they're trying to achieve. According to somebody who believes in numerology, I am a very old soul. I've had thousands of lives, and I never quite get it right. And I'm a nurturer. But this time I'm about to get it right, which is very sad because it means I won't be coming back. And I quite like to come back because I enjoy living.
I just would like you to have a great time and we will see you for another party. Very soon. Shirley, I know you want to come a few words.
Oh, Shirley.
I have a little present for both of you. Come. Happy anniversary, happy engagement. It's a song. And I love you so. The people ask me how I've lived till now. I tell them I don't know.
What's the point of being a star in cafe society?
In my opinion, the whole thing's utterly pointless. I mean...
Was Ivana pleased with you?
Yes, yeah. She loved the party. She thought it was sensational. So was Ricardo, to the extent I got a bonus.
Was it a big bonus?
It was a jolly good bonus. Amid masses of pre-arranged publicity, the secret wedding of Ivana Trump took place in New York. The ceremony at the Mayfair Hotel was conducted in front of the cameras of People magazine, which paid for the honor.
Were you invited to Ivana's wedding?
No, I don't think many people were in England. I think it was just for very close family and a few friends that were in New York. Had I been invited, I would have gone.
You would have gone?
Oh, yes. She didn't particularly like this film. I don't think she thought she came out of it that well.
Do you think you'll ever work for Ivana again?
If she asked me to do something for her, if I had the time, most definitely.
Was she very cross with you?
I don't know. I don't think she was. I think she was very cross with you.
Good morning, or good night, or something.
My love affair with caviar is like one of those medieval romances, like Dante and Beatrice or something of that.
I've got a wonderful selection of new clients. There's caviar, so I'm launching the world's most expensive caviar soup.
In preserving caviar for us all.
It is so outrageous. The fact that you've got half a pound of beluga or whatever on top of the sturgeon covered with gold leaf.
How much did the caviar cost per person, do you reckon?
Per head, I should think about £500 per head.
£500 a head of caviar. And there's how many people here?
22.
So that's quite a tidy sum.
It's an extravagant amount of money, yes.
You don't feel like singing about it?
No.
You're not going to sing a song tonight?
No. No.
Don, I think you'll have to serve this in the house now. Kilos of it, kilos of it.
That's the only way to use it.
Well, are you going to get top of my hands?
One of the TV reviewers in the Daily Mirror wrote that everything that is wrong with modern Britain turns up in the Fame game.
I wonder why they said that.
I was going to ask you.
Oh.
Every promise fulfilled.
Yeah, no, I know.
The Telegraph said that your world was nauseating, hilarious and rather sad.
Which bit did they think was nauseous? Which bit did they think was sad? Which bit did they think was hilarious?
When I was in Moscow last week, I caught the waiter licking the caviar to make it shine,
Oh, no.
which slightly put me off.
Do I find my world nauseous? No. I love my world.
Oh, wait a minute.
Time Out said it's definitely a sad world. Actually, it's pathetic to a bile-inducing degree.
Yes. I didn't understand what they meant.
Do you think we could have a chat to Mona?
I don't think she wants to speak to you.
Why not?
She didn't like her part in the film.
I'm not speaking to you, Daddy.
You're not speaking to you.
I'm not
Are you,
speaking to you. I'm not speaking to
are you legitimately famous yet?
I'm not speaking to you. No, thanks to you. I'm not speaking to you.
What didn't you like the programme?
No.
Why not?
I think you made us all look like idiots.
Right. Why was that?
And we're not.
Okay.
That's all. Bye.
Did you see the programme as an opportunity to promote your clients?
Yes.
And were your clients happy with the way they came across?
Oh, the majority of them were, yes. It was only Mona and Ivana who didn't particularly like the way they were portrayed.
Don't you want fame as well?
I don't really want fame. I would like to be recognised as somebody who does a good job of work. And I'd like people to actually know that I do work hard to achieve what I do. And life isn't just one whole party.
Modern Times is back with a new series in March here on BBC Two.
I'm telling you for the second time to leave these premises.
You are also pointing at me in a rather threatening... Throwing me down... Violence won't get you anywhere, Mr. Hilton. Mr. Hilton is throwing me out of the door. Thank you.